Hi everyone, it's Mel from Sparkly Belly. This 5-panel mermaid skirt tutorial I did years ago has been one of the most popular tutorials at Sparkly Belly. And since I shared it with you, so many of you have requested a simpler 3-panel mermaid skirt. So today I'm thrilled to share with you my 3-panel mermaid skirt over the next 2 videos, more straightforward than the previous version, and updated with a more secure waistband option, but no muffin top, and a higher waist option. Let's get started. To make this 3-panel mermaid skirt, you need pattern paper. You need a large piece of paper about 1 meter by 1.8 meters or 40 inches by 70 inches. You can use any type of paper like craft paper or leftover wrapping paper taped together. Stretch fabric. You need about 3 times your skirt length plus 15 centimeters or 6 inches to make this skirt. Make sure your fabric is at least 2-way stretch, meaning the fabric stretches in these 2 directions. And matching color thread. To make this mermaid skirt and make sure it fits you well, let's take these measurements. The belt line, this is where you want the waistband of your skirt to sit. Measure the circumference. And hip line, this is the fullest part of your hips. If you want to make a high-waisted mermaid skirt, take a measurement at your waistline as well. Then on the back side of your body, take these measurements. The distance between the belt line and the hip line, and the distance between the hip line and thighs, this is right below your hips. The distance between thighs and 10 centimeters or 4 inches above your knees, and the distance between 10 centimeters above knees and the floor. If you're making a high-waisted version, also measure the distance between the waistline and the belt line. Once you record these measurements, let's move on and make a pattern. Just like the 5-panel mermaid skirt, I wanted to keep this mermaid skirt pattern simple. So we'll just make 1 pattern and we'll be sewing 3 identical panels together to make this skirt. Now there's a bit of calculation we need to do. If you want to skip the calculation part or double check your math, you can get a free mermaid skirt calculator from my blog at sparklybelly.com/3mermaid. So take your belt line measurement, divide it by 7.2 and add 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. This is your belt line number for pattern making. We divide the original measurement by 7.2, which is a simplified way of saying we divide it by 1.2, which is the stretch ratio, then by 3 because we're making 3 panels, then by 2 because we're using this number to make a half of a panel. Then we add a 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And do the same calculation for your waistline measurement if you have, and your hip line measurement. And we'll use these numbers, not the original measurements, when we make the pattern. Again, you can find the calculator on my blog. So take your pattern paper and first fold your pattern paper in half. Pick a point at the top of the fold. And if you're making a high-waisted skirt, measure your waistline number you just calculated. If you're making a low-rise version, measure your belt line number you just calculated. And back to the fold and measure down 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch from the first point. And measure across the same number as above. Now the high-waisted version only, measure the distance between the waistline and belt line from the last point on the fold. And measure your belt line number horizontally from here. And make a mark. From here, the steps are the same for both high waist and low rise. From the last point on the fold, measure the distance between the belt line and hip line, and from there, measure your hip line number. Back to the fold and measure the distance between the hip line and thighs from the last point, and measure your hip line number minus 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. At the fold, measure the distance between the thighs and 10 centimeters or 4 inches above your knees, and measure the same number as above, which is your hip line minus 1 centimeter. At the fold, measure the distance between 10 centimeters above knees and the floor plus 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And from there, measure your hip line number times 5 and make a mark. Then connect this mark and the last hip line minus 1 centimeter mark up here. And from there, measure the distance between 10 centimeters or 4 inches above knees and floor plus 1 centimeter along the line. Pivot your ruler or measuring tape from there, marking the same measurement all the way until you reach the bottom. Connect the dots with a smooth curve. By doing this, you can make sure this flared part is the same length as the rest of the skirt. Now connect all the dots. I used 10 centimeters or 4 inches above knees as where we start the flare, and this is something I have never changed in the years. By starting the flare above the knee level, you can create a balanced mermaid skirt for many body types. But if you feel like experimenting with where to start the flare, go for it. At the side edge, smooth out where lines meet so it's a nicely curved line. Cut along the outline with both layers together, and now you have your very own 3-panel mermaid skirt pattern. Once you have the numbers ready, the pattern making section is pretty straightforward. Again, you can get the free calculator at sparklybelly.com/3mermaid. And in my next video, I'll share with you how to cut the panels and assemble the skirt together. I can't wait! Subscribe to my channel and sign up for my newsletter at sparklybelly.com so you won't miss it. And if you like mermaid skirts, I have a brand new course coming up on more elaborate mermaid skirt designs featuring these beautiful flowy layers. If you want to make your own, learn more at sparklybelly.com/mermaid. Hope you liked this part 1 of the 3-panel belly dance mermaid skirt tutorial, and if you did, please share this post with your dancer and costumer friends. Again, get the free calculator at sparklybelly.com/3mermaid. Thanks for watching and keep sparkling!